Well, with all of this business going on, dude, there's no reason we can't get it on the first.
Oh, yeah.
There's gonna be zero editing on this video.
That would be
legendary.
That'd be nice. All right, so we're good to go, right?
We are good to go.
Pre-show cheers here with our half water and half Kentucky straight.
Cheers, YouTube.
Single malt, cheers. All right, let's do this. Hello, Internet. Thank you for joining the show. My name is Darren, that is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap. First of all, AJ, let's go ahead and talk about the big game, right?
Big game, man.
It's been a couple days since the games, since the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of stories that came out, a lot of storylines that come out about it. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the actual game and kind of just give our thoughts, our takeaway on it.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was a fantastic football game.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, it was back and forth. We came into that. I mean, the first quarter started, dude, and I really thought this game was just going to be an offensive slugfest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, we came out, both teams score on their opening possessions.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to my old man after the game, and he summed it up perfectly. It was the best player in the league versus the best team in the league, and ultimately, the best player in the league won the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he came out, he did all kinds of Patrick Mahomes-y things.
They both had the same game plan of coming out, guns blazing, get as many points on the board as possible, but they had two completely different ways of going about it. You had the Phillies going on fourth down, and you had the Chiefs opting to kick a field goal versus trying to push it.
And man, some of those fourth down plays were just fantastic. I mean, Jalen Hurts looked just unstoppable. On 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Yeah.
They just get that offensive line push was just great, dude. They just kept pushing 2 yards every time they needed it. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There was no stopping. It was 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and they're like, they got this.
Yeah.
It's first.
Yeah, it's going. Let's go. That's almost automatic. It was really entertaining for sure.
Yeah, it felt like in one of the drive plays where the quarterback sneak, where they pushed the line through and they realized they were about 2 yards short, and so there was where the lineman just kind of, not the lineman, but
it was like the running back.
The running back just came and just pushed it like, oh, we're still 2 yards short. Here we go.
Yeah, we got this.
I guess I'll get in and help. It was insane. I just thought they had that whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely in the first half. Anything else on the first half that you had there?
No, I mean, that second quarter, dude. The Eagles came out. He has that long pass to A.J. Brown in the end zone.
Phenomenal pass.
I mean, the pass was absolutely on the money. The defense wasn't terrible.
No.
I mean, A.J. Brown got him a little bit spun around. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the pass was just perfectly thrown.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts definitely had that whole, I just think my guy's better than your guy.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it.
Yeah.
He didn't care about traffic. He just threw it to where he knew that his player can get to it and just expected.
And if your defense isn't perfect, then I have bets on my guy.
Yeah, which is phenomenal, which is great. You want that in a quarterback. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it just kind of seemed that touchdown throw. I'm just like, what is he doing? Like I saw that ball come out. I'm like, there's no way he's going to.
Like, why would you even make that pass, Jalen Hurts? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
But really, I mean, Eagles, they come out after that play. They get a solid stop, and then Jalen Hurts gets the football back. And what does he do with it? He fumbles it for a scoop and score.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine going into halftime being up, being up to 2?
I mean, that was really the question: is that the play that turns the whole momentum of this game?
Oh, see, that's why I was gonna, that's definitely a big piece of that. That I was actually going to ask you about that. Which is the play that cost the game? Was it the holding call at the end of the game, or was it that fumble?
I think the holding call was just too late.
Yeah.
I just think at that point there'd been too much stuff that had happened, but that play early on in the game, I think that's the pivotal moment where you get the momentum swing. I mean, that puts the Chiefs up, 7 more. They tack on a field goal to end halftime.
Yeah.
And
so
I think that's the play that swings the momentum. And
yeah, it's 17 to 7 at that point. So they're up. Well, that's what they were up, 17 to 7. So
yeah.
Honestly, that's a good question. So that would have been the score. If they would have gotten that scoring play, then Kansas City would have got the ball back. So honestly, does that fumble really affect the first half that much?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, really, the Eagles come down and they get a score in the next possession, in the ensuing possession after the
yeah.
the Chiefs scoop and score.
Yeah.
And then they tack the field goal on to go up 24-14 at halftime.
Yeah. So
I don't know though, but that one possession, man. I mean, you think it's 31-7.
Yeah, it was a momentum killer for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know if they'd go 31-7. It would have been 17-7. Maybe if they had another chance at another drive, they would have gotten to 21-7 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough to do this whole what if thing. So that's probably why most people don't do it. But, I'd really have to agree with you. I think that play was really it. Like, when I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, there it is. Like, there's no recovering from this.
Is that the game-changing moment for sure?
And then they put the next play, they get the ball back. They get a stop, they go back, they score again, and then at the end of the half, they get a field goal on it. And I just, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I don't know.
10-point game at halftime.
I don't know if that's
enough. Do Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have enough to bring it back? Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He's hobbling off the football field.
Yep.
Is that the moment? I thought if he's hurt, this game could be over. Down 10, no Patrick Mahomes in the second half.
There's so many of that going on.
The Chiefs are done, man.
Yeah, it's so much of that. You see the fumble, and you're like, ooh, that's too much. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover that. The Chiefs got this. And then they immediately score, and you're like, okay, but still, the Chiefs can score at any time. And then Patrick Mahomes goes down, and he's hobbling off the field right at halftime.
And he looked like he's hurting.
He looked like he was hurt.
Like, you could tell he's trying to put all of his weight on it.
Yep.
And he's wincing in pain, and you're just hoping that NFL training staff's going to come through and make sure he's right for the second half.
Yep. The extra long halftime. Spray that numbing spray on it, wrap that, SOB and get back out there kind of mentality, which he has. So
yeah,
chance to win a second
Super
Bowl.
I feel pretty confident he could have probably, broken his arm in 6 places and he was coming back out there to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
he was coming.
There's nothing stopping him from that for sure. But yeah, so as far as in the second half, is there any plays we want to talk about on that? Is there anything you really can think of that jumps out?
I think that opening drive. I think they make a statement. They come out. They just drive the ball right down the field.
Yep.
And score the ball. And it's like, okay, Mahomes is here. He's ready to play.
Yep.
We know he's healthy.
Hurt. Yeah.
And as long as he's healthy, the Chiefs have got a chance.
I think he's hurt, but he's ignoring it. I think.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you saw in one of those running plays where he took off with the ball. You're like.
You're like, what are you doing?
He doesn't have it. You can tell that he doesn't have the legs.
Yeah, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't 100%.
No.
But he had enough.
Yeah.
He came out feeling good enough to go back out there. He had enough to keep going, and they came out and marched the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's when you kind of knew, like, okay, Patrick Mahomes is fine. This 10-point lead's not safe.
Yep.
It definitely set the tone for the rest of the game, which is why it's kind of a bummer to me. Why that holding call at the end is kind of a bummer. We had one of the most epic Super Bowls that I can remember in my memory of watching the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Where there was it was fast-paced, energetic, every play counted, every play mattered. There was literally no real sacks. I'm air quoting for those who are listening on the podcast. Air quoting, there were no real sacks in this game. For either
one push
team,
out of bounds or something that qualified as a sack.
That technically qualified for a loss, which was a sack. So, which was really weird because both of these teams led their respective leagues in sacks. So, it was a game that went against statistics, but kind of played into it at the same time, because they had that we mentioned last week that the Eagles had that internal run that they really relied on, and they didn't mind going for it third and long pass because they got on the fourth.
Yeah, if it's fourth and short, they're going.
Yeah, so
mean,
on the third down, they're just like, okay, we're going to huck it and see if we can get down the field because they know they're going to go for it.
And especially to catch a defense slipping. I mean, if they fall into a zone coverage, trying to stop any kind of short passes or something like that, I mean, it's easy to get over the top side and catch A.J. Brown in the end zone for a touchdown.
Which is insane. It was a crazy game to watch because they had two different ways of going about it, but it both worked for both of them. And honestly, the thing that we can't really play the what-if game because if that holding call wasn't there, they got the ball back where they had a chance, with the Chiefs up 3.
Yeah.
I definitely would not have counted out the Eagles for being able to drive that sucker all the way back to win the game.
Oh, no.
With only 2 minutes left.
Oh, no, man.
Watching Jalen Hurts throw a bomb all the way down the field to someone who looks like they're double covered and somehow comes up with the ball, I wouldn't have put it past them.
Yeah.
So I felt like we got that. That's why that call for me, it was the right call. I mean, even what's his name? The guy who got called for the holding. What's his name? Even he came out and in the post-game interview and said, "Yeah,
I held him.
I held him.
I hoped he'd let it slide.
He beat me to my spot. I hope the ref wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to get past it. And honestly, it took 3 angles for me to really see the hold, really, to being where I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you could call that either way. But the fact that it did end up that was what stopped this drive and stopped this epic ending of this, juggernaut of a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you just hate to see that, really.
Yeah, it just kind of took the wind out of it. It was still a great game.
It was a fantastic game.
It ended the way I thought it was going to end with the Chiefs coming out victorious. Winning. But the Eagles did enough to make it very, very exciting.
I mean, they did enough to make it a football game.
Yeah, they did enough to. They did enough to win. I
mean, they had 9 seconds when they got the ball in the fourth, and I mean, Jalen Hurts. I still don't know what you were doing, man. I hope the ball slipped out of your hand. You take a 5-step drop, and you look downfield, and you take 2 steps, get into it, and you throw it like 30 yards.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But at that point, it didn't matter. After that last timeout that Andy Reid called, it was done. So
yeah,
I mean, it was a fantastic game. I loved the whole game. I don't think I've ever been that engaged in an entire Super Bowl game in a very long time. I remember watching I believe it's the Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons, thinking, okay, Atlanta's got this one wrapped up. Unless Tom Brady goes all Tom Brady, this game's over at halftime, right?
And he did just that.
And then he went all Tom Brady. And so that was the other one that stood up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I could have slept through the whole first half of that game and not been really that engaged.
Right, because the Patriots were getting killed.
They were getting smacked. Like, this is very one-sided. This is the only Super Bowl I can remember where it was just score for score, match for match. I don't know. To put a ball on it, man, I couldn't have asked for a better Super Bowl. I just wish we could have been not robbed of the last 2 minutes and how great that could have been.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think if the holding call is not called, does it change everything? Yeah. Does it make it any more exciting? Possibly.
Maybe. But
it could have potentially made that game that much better, though.
Yeah, it definitely kind of gave you that, oh, man, really?
Well, just because I would have loved to see, like, one more chance of, now it's a 4th down.
Yeah. Yeah, 4th down.
Now it's a 4th down. Mahomes has got to pull some magic out.
Yep. So, yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been fun to see that. But it's totally okay that it didn't happen that way. So we're good there. I really love how Kelsey comes up and just starts screaming, in Patrick Mahomes' interview, nobody thought we can win. Everybody counted us out. And you're like, okay, guy, whatever. You can play the underdog card as much as you want, but it's not like nobody thought you could do it. You just,
I think a lot of people put so much into that Eagles, man. That Eagles team was, I mean, widely considered the best constructed team in all of the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, they got Jalen Hurts at quarterback. They picked up some big offensive line guys. They got A.J. Brown at wide receiver. Yeah. I mean, the defense was stellar. Yeah. They were widely considered the favorites right out the gate, and then they come out and start and just, I mean, we're hot to start the season. Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't lose a game until, game 10 or something?
Yep, they were 9-0. So
9-0, and they took their first loss. I mean, it was just a fantastic start to the season. I was like, there's not anybody that's going to be able to stop this Eagles team.
Yeah, but I mean, how often do we have an undefeated team lose steam towards the end? You know? But in your defense, absolutely. I mean, they won 9, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, won 2, lost 1. And then, then the playoffs.
They just looked real tough.
They looked really tough to defeat. So, yeah, I mean, going into the game, I don't know. I think the line had the Chiefs -3, so that would put the Eagles +3.
Yeah.
So that's not that huge of a line. That's saying that they're going to win by field goal. That's not
Yeah.
really saying much. So I don't know. I think you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to win the game and to really drive yourself through the postseason. But it kind of just seemed like you're like, okay, come on, man. You're the Chiefs, man. You still got Eddie Reid. You still got Patrick Mahomes. You're still on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you've got
Kelsey.
the best quarterback that's really playing the football game right
Yeah.
now.
He's literally just cementing that fence post in his legacy. So what are we really doing there? But yeah, so once again, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us on this DNA Sports Recap podcast. Appreciate the time. And yeah, until next time.